gentlemen, good evening, good evening, good evening. 7:30 on your dial, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back for another session of Speak Your Mind. I hope you guys are ready to take part in this beautiful show. You know, every Saturday night, that's what we're all about. That's what I'm about. Getting you involved in the conversation, in the dialogue. So I'm back. It's been a long Easter holiday. I hope you guys enjoy your Easter. We had 4 days last week, starting last Friday, all the way down to Monday. I hope you guys enjoy the festivities over in Virgin Gorda. I hope for some of you who did go, you didn't feel unholy. I hope the Lord still bless you no matter what. You know, there's been some talk about that. So if you want to talk about that, feel free to raise it up. I noticed some of these things, some of you guys are afraid for some reason to touch and talk about and question. And question the people who are saying the things they are saying. Question me when you need to question me. Some of you do it anyhow. You do it in your text. And I appreciate that, because when you question things, we're able to have that conversation. We get to a mutual understanding. So it's another beautiful Saturday night. The show's live. So, you know what to do. Call your friends, your neighbors, your brother, your sister, your auntie. And thanks, little ones, all those little kids who watch the show with their parents. I appreciate every time you guys tell me you watch this show, and I appreciate that. So I'm hoping that, you know, what you see on the street is what you see here. And so I appreciate you watching and taking part in the show. If you have any questions yourself and you don't want to call, have your parents call for you. I'm sure they'll be happy to do that. So again, welcome. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I'm just going to ask you some questions. Tonight I want to hear from you guys. It's a new show. We've been off now last weekend. So it's like we haven't seen each other for a long time. So let's get involved with the conversation. I like dialogue. I like conversing, ladies and gentlemen. I like having that conversation. So let's do it. Let's do it tonight. I got 3 things that I want to put out there. But of course, anything that you have, that you want to tackle, anything that you want to put on the table, you know what to do. When the phone lines come up, the text number come up, you know, call, text, let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what you think about what I said. If you think I'm off, then pull me back on track. I appreciate that, because when you pull me back on track again and again, we can have that real conversation where people who may not know or didn't know, who are misguided, misled by others, or they thought they were misled by me, at least you can get the facts. We can have the facts on the table tonight. So let's do that. So I want to hear from you guys, ladies and gentlemen. There was 3 things that really caught my attention for the past 2 weeks, and I think that we should be able to have this honest conversation about it. The first thing I have on my list, I remember on this show a few months ago, maybe last year, I was talking about, you know, and I think it was about 2, maybe 3 shows over the period of that time where I spoke about opposition districts, you know, going to suffer, not getting anything. I spoke about the tourism attraction areas in some of those districts where tourists, you know, feel cheated. And just this past week, 2 days ago, I had a tourist said that to me on the way to Brewers Bay, and I find it kind of ironic that the tourist is saying that. You know, he's all excited about going down there to go snorkel, beautiful snorkel beach, and he's going down over the hill. He said, you know, you should ask the guy. You guys should clean the brushes, he said. Clean the bushes, cut all of these hangovers. And I'm thinking, wow, you know, I'm thinking, suppose he saw the article in the paper that the action committee from Brewsbury wrote, you know, and I said to myself, man, that was me. That was me talking about those districts. That was me talking about any of the districts that are part of opposition. Opposition member, District 1, District 2, District 3, and District 9. You know, not getting any type of real support, not getting any type of enhancement, enhancing the tourism product, enhancing the livelihood of poor folks down there in those districts. You know, just basic necessities. So this week, last week, I'm reading the paper, and I see a group, a grassroots group in Bruce Bay, talking about all we getting is lip service, they said. All they are getting is lip service. They're not going through the representative, they're going straight to the people in charge, the premier. They mentioned the premier. They said the premier. They've had, you know, contact with the premier's office. They've asked for support in certain things. And these are basic things. We're not asking for a brand new road between one side of the mountain to the other side. They were asking for essential things. Things that are necessary to help old people, to help young people, to help locals, to help residents, to help tourists, to help beautify the area, to help keep the area in a certain way, because it's a well-known area now for its tourism attraction. It's a well-known area now for accommodation. It's a well-known area for, you know, the views and the beauty and the snorkeling. I mean, it's one of those places that should not be overlooked, regardless of who's in the area. So I'm saying to you tonight, how do you feel about that? Are we on point when we say, or am I on point when I say that districts like that are being neglected politically? What do you think? Do you think it's an oversight? Do you think it's, yes, we're going to get to it, we just don't have the time or the money? Because money's being spent. Money's not the problem. No matter what nobody say, money's not the problem. We see money being borrowed. We see money being spent on different areas and different projects. Wherever the money's coming from, money should have been allocated. And if you recall, you go back, we heard the representative himself in the House said to the government, let him know the rules, because it seemed like jungle politics. He said, tell him what the rules is. What are the rules for this district, for him, in getting things done? He himself had advocated for changes and help for the community, not for himself, but for the community. And now here we have this action group. The Bruce Bay Action Group is the one who wrote the article. It's been written on their cause, their effort. So the question is this an oversight, or do you think this is just an intentional behavior on any government, no matter who's in power, to continue to overlook districts that are not part of their portfolio? In this case, we have three. We have District 9, we got District 1, we got District 2, and we got District 3. Are they being overlooked because of opposition? Because you want to make the opposition look bad? Because I got a piece of advice for those of you who are watching, who represent the government's interests. It's not helping your cause. When you starve people in the district, it's not going to help you. You're not going to win because you think that it's going to make the representative look bad. When it's deliberate and it comes out in the media like this, people know. When the same people who are suffering or involved in trying to make changes, those are the same people you're going to go back to for votes. And what are you going to tell them? Blame the representative? It's not going to help your cause, ladies and gentlemen. Do the right thing. You will look good regardless if you do the right thing. But if you do the wrong thing, you're going to look bad. And you're already looking bad. So let's get this going. Question again, ladies and gentlemen. Answer if you want. Answer how you want. Do you think that this is a fair cry from the people of those districts who are crying out for the basic necessities? Basic. We're not asking again for a brand new community center, you know. That's not what they're asking for. They're asking for simple improvement in drainage and infrastructure, things that should have been done regardless of who the district representative is. But it's not being done. So the people are saying, this is what they said, all they are getting is lip service. What do you think? Hit me up on that. Next thing on my radar. Boy, this one is sensitive. This one is sensitive, and I want to hear you guys' take on this. Especially if you have a piece of land or property that you value, something that you want to maybe pass on to your kids or, a relative, something that you might be sitting on for a number of years in hope of doing your own development. I'm talking specifically about the Eastern Land Look debate, the conversation about the piece of land that the government has taken away from a family to put in a pump house. And let's be clear what we're talking about. We're talking about a facility the government plans to develop to catch the sewage, the smelly stuff that we flush down the toilet. They want to build it in the front of the roadway, next to the road, in the middle of the community, across from the Eastern Police Station, right in the heart of the business sector and residential. And they want to build that facility to capture the waste, the sewage, and then pump it down to the treatment plant down Paraquita Bay. Now, we know that's not going to happen anytime soon. That's another year, 2-year project going on. The government has some rights. It has some leeway in this. There's a law on the books. The law gives them the authority to make certain, take certain action in cases like this where there's no other option. Is in the best interest of the national country. They have that option. But at the same time, it should only be implemented assuming there's no other option available. Is there other options available? According to the family, there is. According to the family, there's other locations that are suitable, more suitable for what the government wants to do. But whoever is driving the conversation, such as, I think that piece of area, that particular area, is in the 7th district. So we have to look at the 7th district representative. He's also over land. We have to look at the premier who brought the measure to the House. Where's the conversation? Where is the study? Where is the feasibility study that suggests that this is the best, only option available, and the government is in their rights to do what they are doing? What do you think? If you were in the position, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you, simple, if you were in the position, and it was your land, given the few little things that I just outlined, the location is bad, in my opinion. It's in the middle of a development, a sewage pump. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, think about Right Hand Road down by the roundabout. Think about how attractive that is. Unattractive. Think about how that looked. Think about the situation that was arising from that before they did whatever they did to help remedy the situation. They didn't fix this problem, They just remedied it. They caused some action to help deal with the situation. But Road Town is a growing community. We got more and more buildings being added in Road Town, and those buildings have toilets that are being flushed into the same system. You need a treatment plant in Road Town or outside of town somewhere that could take all that waste. The pump station right there by the church next to the gas station is what I'm referring to. Think about that. Think about sometimes when you have problems and there's a backup there. The smell, the stench coming from that. Going down through the little drainage from between, right off the drive right there, right off the main road. Sometimes it comes out down by Craft Alive. Sometimes when you sit down by the waterfront taxi, you could smell. It's unbearable. In the middle of town, in the middle of a tourism district, in the middle of an economic district, in the middle of a residential district. Think about that for a second. Think about the problems that we were faced there with. And I'm asking you, is it a wise decision what the government are doing? I mean, we have family members crying out. Is that the kind of democracy we want to run in this country? Is that democracy? Is that fair to that family? Is it the best idea, the best location, the best anything that the government could have come up with? There's another set of land that the family is willing to offer, and they have offered that piece of land. We hear talk about it's being too close to the bakery. We hear talk about based on the flow of the sewage and all this yada yada yada, it may not be the best location. We hear all kind of excuses, but we haven't seen any study that suggests where they're going to put it is the best idea. And I'm asking you, simple, it's a simple question, ladies and gentlemen. Given the location, given the problems that could arise from it, given the fact that it's in prime development, it's a prime development land, a piece of land where the family could use 10 years from now because the area going to expand. You're going to put it in the middle of that. You're going to put a pump house on a main drive. I'm asking you, do you think that's a good idea? Hit me up on that. Last but not least on my radar, this one I going to have a pleasure and fun with this one. You know, a few weeks ago, I had Zan Lewis. He's probably watching tonight because he liked to watch and wait till when he hears something controversial and then he put it on the radio. And I like when they put controversial thing on the radio because, you know, people get to know what's going on regardless. So I want to be clear about what I said. Zan called and asked my opinion. And he asked me a series of questions. But when he played back the tape, the questions to the answer, all you heard was the answers. And people didn't know how to follow the answers apparently. It was a few weeks ago, Carnival Cruise Line came back to the territory. She'd been absent for a little while. And she'd been absent for whatever reason. Only Carnival and the government or the Virgin Islands could tell you those reasons. But I can tell you a story that led up to her leaving and a story that she herself, Carnival, made in all local press and international press about her coming to the territory and under what conditions. So I want you guys to sit back and relax and follow the story, because what I notice in this country, a lot of us who might just come in, hear a story that's been going on for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, take the middle part of that story and say that is the story. No, the story has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end. So I'm going to do this brief, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and go more into it. The cruise pair project that we have going on now, no, listen carefully, is not the same project that the government had put on the table from 2011 to 2013. They're two separate and different projects. Hear me carefully, because some of you are confused, and I don't know what the confusion is about. It's simple. The project that the government had on the table before, I sat on this show and clearly told you why I did not support that project. And I'm glad today that the government made a change in 2013. The minister himself came on this show and clearly articulate himself as to why they're now taking a different approach in developing a cruise pair project. The first project we had on the table was called the Tortola Port Partners deal. You can Google that deal. Google the name, it's right there. As a matter of fact, according to my research, it was March 27, 2014. 2014. March 27. Let me look at that good again. 2014, when the government finally signed another set of deal with a company called Tortola Port Partners. It was a collaboration, a partnership between IDEA, which was a subsidiary of a company called UIG, United Infrastructure Group, and another company called Cashman Group, which was a finance arm of the group. They were going to put up a lot of money to build the dock. In addition to that, the BVI Port was a partner in that deal, hence Tortola Port Partners. Don't get it mixed up. It's two different things. When that deal dropped on this table between 2011 to 2014, I was totally against it and still going to be against it if it were to come up again. But it can't, because the government took a different approach. That's what they did. They took a different approach and they went and borrowed money. They did exactly what people like myself were saying they could have done all along. However they got it done, they got it done. So please don't meet me on the street and tell me that I am now embracing and no, you misunderstand because you don't understand the story. The story is simple, my friends. It's simple. But again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. As a matter of fact, when I come back off the break, I'm going to hit that first because I know you guys are still confused. Every time I meet people up to today, 3 different people in different places throughout Tortola said the same thing to me because they misinformed. They're confused. And I'm going to straighten the confusion out tonight. But again, it's Speak Your Mind. So if you have anything you want to elaborate on, feel free, hit me up. We're going to take a quick break because I think I finished talk for at least 15 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to hit you up on this again. Then we're going to put the phone numbers up. We're going to put the text number up. If you want to call, you want to send a text, feel free. The world is yours. All right, so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. I just got a text that said it's okay to put the sewage plant or pump station in the community. They said check out other modern cities. You'll see them pretty much anywhere, and they camouflage so well that you wouldn't even know it's there. That's one person's opinion. What's yours? Do you think it's a fair idea, a fair assessment? Should we put, the pump station in the middle of the community? It's that simple. No. I want to make one quick correction to myself. I said March 27, 2014. It was March 27, 2012. 2012. So, in 2012, remember the government came into power in 2011. By 2012, March 27, according to my research, 2012, the government signed a memorandum of understanding or a piece of paper that gave them a leeway, 90 days, to start negotiating with a company called Tortola Port Partners. Many of us were like, who is Tortola Port Partners? We didn't know who they were. There was a lot of talk about where they came from, who are they? That was a secret for almost a year. Nobody knew. Understand that, right? That was 2012. Follow the storyline. By the summer of 2012, after much debate, after much conversation, after people on this show, myself included, spoke about this deal that was on the table, the government decided to pull the plug and reissue the bid. Tortola Port Partners was still there. The government set out a series of requirements, things that you had to be in a certain position, whether it's finance, whether access to cruise liners, whether it's access to tourists. You had to be there were certain requirements that you had to meet. They said that. It was late summer, October that year, 2012. all bets were off. After that, 4 companies, I believe, 4 companies were examined. They submit their proposal. That's when the big talk came up with Royal Caribbean. TPP won the bid again. People said, well, how can they win the bid? They don't meet any of the criteria the government really set out. I said that. I said that. So yes, I was against the deal from Jump Street for the reason I am about to outline. Simple. They didn't have access to no cruise ship. They themselves didn't have access to any cruise ship other than the one guy who owned the company called Idea, who, according to my research, was a subsidiary of UIG. Idea owner, Hugh Daly, used to work for Disney. So he had a connection, and he believed Disney would have been on board with the deal. They were going to bring, they can't do no more than that, maybe 100,000 people, maybe 75,000 people. But it wasn't enough to really carry the deal. They needed somebody else with them. Hence, that's where NCL came in. Remember, Royal Caribbean was tossed to the side. Although they have all of what the government was looking for, they were tossed to the side. The other 2 was brought in. Hey, we love them. I love them. I still happy for them. Today, I don't care. It's a different story today. So here we are, move forward. 2013, community pressure again. Talk show host pressure again. By February of 2013, the deal itself had changed, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the structures in the deal had changed, such as the same Cashman had already pulled out of the deal by March of 2013, because the government, during the negotiation, again changed some of the stipulation. They changed it. There was a 49-year deal on the table. The government was now considering reducing it down to 30 years because people were bitching. They were moaning. They were complaining. Why are you going to give it a country for 49 years? Do you all forget the argument? I didn't forget it. I was part of the argument. I was part of the discussion. 49 years is what they were looking at. People said, no, why are you giving this country away for 49 years? You're killing 3 generations. For what? For 80 million, for 90 million dollars? That's what they were going to put up to so-called building the dock and all the things along it. They were going to put about 70 million dollars between the dock, the landside development, the boardwalk, and then 20 or so million dollars were going to come to the government to help build some of the infrastructure around the territory, such as the historical sites. I remember the story, ladies and gentlemen. I was there through the whole conversation. Move forward. Again, now it leaves the rest of the guys them who are involved, the guys who own UIG, to now go find a bank. Because it left on their shoulder now to go find a bank to help finance the deal. By September of 2013, the government of the Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, made a 180 turn and canceled the deal onto TPP, Tortola Port Partners. UIG, Hugh Daly, all the rest of them who were supposed to be involved. The minister came on this show and said himself that they failed to meet certain requirements. When pressed for what those requirements they didn't meet, he didn't say. But we all know, because the article that was written in the Beacon newspaper clearly outlined what requirement wasn't met. If you don't have that article, search Google for it, call the Beacon, they can give you a copy of it. A really bright fella down there wrote an article where he interviewed all the principal players in the game. And they all threw each other under the bus. I got a copy of it. That's when that deal died. In 2013, when the government canceled that deal. When the government decided now to go and get a loan for $35 million. That's when I changed. That's when I believe that was the best approach. So don't get twisted. Don't get twisted. The deal that's in front of us now is not the same deal that was there before. It's 2 different deals. That's one that died, a new one was born. The one that was born is the one we have in front of us now. You can make a choice now if you want to invest, move forward. Whether you invest or not, the government going to find money to finish the project, and we're going to have a cruise ship pier development that belongs to the people of this territory. That's why I fought for. So don't get me mixed up with somebody else. And now to the controversial piece. Carnival themselves said, based on the berthing agreement that the government signed with the two cruise liners, go get a copy, ladies and gentlemen, of the berthing agreement and read it for yourself. It is plain, it is written. These two ships have first rights to a dock. The government has a clause in there where they, up to 30 days, if the ship lines don't book any of those slots for a certain period of time, the government can sell it to whoever they want. They own it. So therefore, if NCL don't book a date, DCL don't book a date, grace period pass, the government could sell it to Carnival, they could sell it to Royal Caribbean, they could sell it to the Costa ship, they could sell it to whoever they want. When I say sell, I mean they could allow them to come in, they pay their head tax, the people them come and enjoy the territory. Understand the deal. So when we see now, Carnival came in, she came in before the berthing agreement initially supposed to kick in. That's supposed to kick in the end of this month. That's where the real tests come in, ladies and gentlemen. So don't get too excited. I want to see all different type of ships come in this country. Today we have a cruise ship in this country. You know what? The place look like a ghost town. Nothing happening, no movement, nobody making no money. Delta gas station, gas price gone up a few cents again. And gas price in the world market still down. So how we gonna live? We can't live off the big hotel them full. But where the people them? The high-end places them full. They got a lot of people there, but where are they? They're not on Tortola. We had billions of dollars sitting in Virgin Gorda just recently. None of it end up in Cane Garden Bay. None of it end up in Jocelyn Dyke. So what we supposed to do? Understand the story, okay? So when you meet me now, understand what I stand. I stand for anything where people benefit. Majority of us can benefit. I don't care who locally now fight for what contract, you know. That's neither here nor there. That's what we're supposed to do, compete. A lot of them now who are now eating well, are eating well because, in case you didn't know, UIG is a construction company, an engineering company. They build a lot of things. Cashman is also a dredging company and a development company, not just a finance. They were going to finance the deal, but they're not a bank. They're a dredging company. So they could have easily bring in their own to do the work, and a lot of those who are here now, living good, making big money, are making big money because of people like me on this show advocating for them. And I ain't getting nothing out of it. And I'm happy. I'm happy, ladies and gentlemen. So get the facts straight. Two different deals. One died. We got a new one. And this new one, most of it belongs to us. That's the key. All right? So you got three things on the table. Send the text, send the calls. The phone line's going to be up. Engineer, put the phone lines up. Let the callers call if they want to call. If you got, you want to dialogue, no problem. On set, we got my man, Courtney. Courtney, welcome. I had to clear the air on that because got a lot of people, man, hit me up on that.
Okay, I see you got the air clear.
Yeah.
No, and I don't think that would be bothering you anymore.
No, I don't think there'll be any more misunderstanding.
No.
I think people are really lost in the story.
Yeah, I think they really understand now where you stand on a cruise spare.
Yeah. This is my Courtney. This belongs to all of us.
We got a text while you were talking. Let's go straight to it. Let's say, to the people of the BVI, don't be fooled. It have a few good people from each party. Please do not vote party-wise. Mix your vote and let us form a new party because this place is in trouble and we need a big change. That's what somebody texts us there. I guess
sounds like a plan.
Sound like a plan. Sound like people are having the election fever.
Yeah.
You know, if I didn't live around here long, I would think that we were going to have a a royal visit sometime soon. You know, probably from the Danish, maybe the Danish Queen or the Queen of England or somebody's coming, Sam. I don't care what you say. Somebody coming. You look
Why
around.
you think they coming? Why you think
You
they
look
coming?
around, you'll see the signs. There are a lot of signs in place.
Okay.
That somebody's coming to visit us. Maybe from Africa, you never know.
So you're saying there's a lot of signs.
There are a lot of signs out there that somebody's coming.
Oh, you mean like in the road?
In the past, we used to paint up buildings, fix the roads, you know, open up, you know, get new buildings, construct everything in time for a royal visit.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a royal visit in a while. We haven't had one from, and also too, I think we have become of age where maybe we don't only have to have royal visits from the British royal family. There are a lot of other royal families.
Yeah.
You know, there's the Danish royal family which visit St. Thomas and St. Croix, and then from time to time, you know, so maybe we're in line for someone to come across and visit us sometime soon.
Gotcha.
Because we definitely have a lot of things put in place right now that would suggest a royal visit.
Well,
That's
I feel like royalty too, you know.
Okay.
So if I can get new road being surfaced, I'm all for it, man.
Well, that is the thing. That is why we like a royal visit in the past, you know. We had a few, you know. We had a few.
That's when we get everything. Ladies and gentlemen, what you think? You got some good things out there to you know, eat on. The Eastern Land Grab. What do you think about that? You know, the Bruce Bay Community, the Action Group. You know, sounding off. They basically sounding off because they feel, you know, like they said, they've been getting up a lip service. Do you think that most of the districts that are non-supported by government are getting lip service? What's your take on the whole thing? Let me know. Somebody sent a text, Courtney, earlier and said that
we got a call. Good evening. You've Speak Your Mind. Go right ahead, please. This is a live show, ladies and gentlemen. So if you call us, we're going to answer. It's a live show. So go right ahead and call us back if you think that you lost your call. But we're here, we're live, and we're ready.
Yeah, so somebody sent me a text and said in most developed countries, they have a sewage treatment plant and pump stations and all through the neighborhood, and they camouflage so good that you even know they're there. And
it's funny that you would say that, because I know of one where I was in New York where people would go with their cameras to take pictures, and I was you know, I always wonder why would they want to do that, because this is a sewage treatment plant. This is where the water is aerated, right? They add air to the water to you know to aerate it, and people go there with their cameras.
Wow.
And they you know, and they take pictures and stuff, and I guess because they didn't know what it was, maybe. So yeah, you know, it doesn't have to be something that you hide away. You know, it doesn't have to be that at all. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
And
well,
we're growing though.
Yeah, and that's my take. That's my take on the whole thing. The community is growing. Is it the best place for it at this time?
We have a text. We have a text that's coming in. Sam, I said, what is this nonsense with the water going off every night in Virgin Gorda between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m., both in Spanish Town and in North Sound as well? Okay, my brother, thank you for that text, but I would like you to welcome you to the Virgin Islands. It's not only on Virgin Gorda that this is happening. This is happening on Tortola as well. Water goes off, and there's a young lady that reminds me about it every time the water goes off. I tell her, man, have a little patience. They're working on it. They're going to get it fixed. We are now receiving 2.3 million gallons a day. So
you mean they're producing that? Are we really receiving it though?
Well, once they're producing it, Sam, it
has to go somewhere, right?
It has to go somewhere. You know, it has to go somewhere. We know we have storage capacity for about 1 million up at Sabbath Hill.
Yeah, because I know I see something in the paper recently about the infrastructure itself is not adequate. Are they really producing 2-point-something million gallons? That's what I'm wondering.
I've heard that argument as well, and it may seem that it may seem to me that we need to increase the capacity, if that is the case, and then it also begs the question about auto production,
Yeah.
and hear me good, auto production,
Yeah.
meaning the other plants that we have on the island as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, somebody sent me a text earlier saying to me that have I full up my cistern recently, and hence the $300. So
Sam, I have an immediate text here for you. It says, Sam, maybe Obama is coming. President Obama is coming.
no, he ain't coming. He ain't coming. We didn't even go to the. We didn't even have any.
Don't say we didn't go. We didn't make the list.
We didn't even have a representative.
We
at
didn't make the list.
The thing, and I'm wondering why. Because the BVI is such an important player in the region.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
At that level, you're talking about CARICOM countries.
Yeah. Independent CARICOM countries.
Well, in order to be a member of CARICOM, you have to be independent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about, Sam, I was so elated and so happy to hear the two speeches that I heard. The one from the
Castro.
No, the one from the brother from Bahamas, the Prime Minister of Bahamas, and one from the Prime Minister of Jamaica. I was so happy to hear both of those persons speaking so eloquently, and it made me proud to be a West Indian. I tell you that. That is where all leadership should be at in this time, in the 2015, going forward. Speaking about improving the people of the country, you know, because Obama made a heavy statement that said that we're a growing country, and he was talking about the whole entire West Indies, and he said we have two challenges. One is energy, and the other one is climate change. And he said that we have the highest energy cost in the world. We was just confirming what I knew from before. We have the most oil in the world. Venezuela is sitting on the most oil in the entire world, and yet we as a people, the entire region, we have the highest energy costs in the world.
Wow, go figure, huh?
Oh boy, go figure that. Go figure that. Let's see what we have here. We have good night, gentlemen. Good night to you, my brother or sister, whoever you are. Definitely, it's a good night. I want to know why we cannot get any water at Treadfall. Now over 34 days since we haven't get a drop. This is getting overbearing. I agree with you, my brother. You know, Treadfall, Sam, Treadfall is that beautiful development above Seacoast Bay. You know, if you take the Seacoast Bay to Chalwell Road, and you get halfway up the hill, that's Treadfall. Lovely homes. I know most of the people up there.
That's a part over what do you call that? The valley down below.
It's over the valley down below, yeah.
What do you call the valley again?
Pleasant Valley.
Pleasant Valley.
Yeah, it's over Pleasant Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the challenge is, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the Ridge Road has a pipeline, and the challenge is, as I've heard, is to get that pipeline going, and once that pipeline is going, then the water could come down to lower elevations. So,
but that's the reason why the road's been closed off now. The water and sewage up there digging up that same road, putting in that pipe. So I think in another maybe 2 weeks they might be connected.
Oh, well, if we hear from the appropriate authority, it will make life a lot easier for the citizens of Treadfall. You know, they're tax-paying people. I'm sure they pay their bills on time.
Oh yeah.
Hi Sam, can government send free hi-fi around town for when the ships dock? Because it's a digital world when people have a smartphone and looking direction to restaurant and shops. That's an excellent idea. If anybody's going to do it, I don't know. But I am one for free internet, free Wi-Fi, free everything. It only makes business sense to me. If you're in an area and you're allowed to, you have access, it can improve business.
Yeah.
And I was pretty close to one of our suppliers just the other day, and they have their line lock. I mean one of the three major suppliers I'm talking about, and they have the service lock. When they come up, you see lock. That says a lot about that company. You know, it says a lot. But that's the environment that we live in, Sam, and we have to abide by it. By the way, some people I've run into recently, Maureen, Jennifer, a whole bunch of people that I've seen for many years. Welcome to these islands, and don't let this be the last time. Make sure you come back. Come back and visit. You know, I mean, we are here, and your family. Just don't stay away for such a long time again. It's good when people come around, Sam. It helps our economy, but we also have a social aspect of it, where we interact with persons, from time to time, or we speak about the diaspora, not just the people that live here, but the people that live in St. Thomas and the people that live in the United States. Now, we consider all these people of the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
So
they came to visit the island and...
No, they came here for, family purposes,
Okay.
But at the same time they were visiting, so...
Nice.
Welcome and
Nice.
come back. Please come back.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes. Sam, you're talking about the Eastern land situation, right?
Yeah.
That is an ongoing situation that I think is going to, is going to be a vexing situation for time to come. Because it is never ever an easy situation to get into that situation in the first place. We're being asked to take a break for the sponsors and make the show possible. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna be right back with you.
Welcome back. So, keep the calls coming, keep the texts coming. We got about 30 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hit us up.
We have one more text that
We got
came
a text
in.
on the line.
It already have pipeline going to Treadfall from Bellevue. So why those people is not getting water? This is just politics. LOL. So that's somebody in the know who said there's a line there already. And the 1 million gallons that I told you about the storage, that's at what that place is. The person said Bellevue, but it's really
That's lower, like
Sabbath Hill. Sabbath Hill. It's really Sabbath Hill. Yeah, a little up, a little higher than Bellevue. So you have good elevation. You should have good
Flow.
gravity field. So the rest is history. We'll have to, keep posted to hear how that turns out. But there are also other places like Huntomscott and some other places too that don't get water, especially in the night.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes when you're at home is when you need the services most.
Yeah. Well, I know Huntomscott for sure. In part of Puzzle as well.
Yeah.
Don't
Good
get any
night.
water.
Just want to say it's such a shame to see I've given NDP a chance by voting for them, and imagine those guys won't even, boy, text coming in so fast. Imagine those guys won't even say hi or bye to you. It's sort of cut off, and it's I don't know what happened there.
Don't worry, they're going to say hi and bye now. It's election year.
Election time coming up.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of hi and bye. You're going to see them in places you didn't expect to see them. So just
Another
get ready.
text that came said, action in every district. Things must be getting better. It's a bit late, but better late than never.
Well, it ain't getting better for the people in Bruce Bay, the action group.
Yeah, another text came in. Sam said, "Hi, gentlemen. Good night. Not a word yet about the NHI insurance, but the prices at the hospital still going up. Also, the Free Bottom district really needs a facelift, especially the roads in the upper Free Bottom. Courtney, you should know you were living there once. Our representative of the 6th district is sleeping, man. Oh boy. Shameful. Well, we're getting a text, Sam. They're coming in one after the other, and people are noticing the same thing I was saying. You notice?
I think you missed the one about Jocelyn Dyke.
Oh, Jocelyn Dyke, yeah.
There's one about Jocelyn Dyke and the buoy in the protected
the buoy in the protected area. It seemed like we've lost that battle. We were here trying to encourage the powers that be to make George Van Dyke beaches safe, like say King Garden Bay is right now, where you have buoys and boats respect those buoys. They pack, they drop the anchor outside of the swimming area.
That's right.
And it's safe for persons to swim and walk on the beach. I mean, you imagine trying to walk on the beach and you have an anchor where you could bust your toe. Just to make a scenario, you know, and that can happen.
And it happened, or Courtney?
Of course.
It happened. I mean,
of course.
Even people just, casually just trying to swim.
Yes.
Getting hung up by ropes, getting hung up by the potential of getting caught up by a propeller. We heard some story recently about someone getting an accident with a propeller off a dinghy. So, I mean, these things are likely to happen.
And Sam,
if we don't do it right.
One accident could pay the cost to correct the situation. Just the cost of one accident.
Yeah.
Yes, what about that insurance? Another text coming. Yes, what about that insurance? Well, person that text, we're waiting. We're still waiting. And we're waiting, and I'm sure we'll be updated on it sooner or later.
Well, I don't think we need insurance anymore. The hospital gear up to make a lot of money on its own. So,
Sam, we the private citizens are not the only people that buy insurance. Government workers buy insurance as well.
True.
And from what I've been hearing, they're asking people to renew the insurance. So that might be an indication of where we're going. Sam, I really wish that you and Courtney was running as an independent candidate, man. You will be good for the country.
I can stay right there.
Not this time.
We could get it done right here together. Let's do it together right here.
The 11th of April. The month is going by so quickly. Sam, I think I going back to my first premise, so we're going to have a visit. Somebody's coming. Somebody's coming to these islands.
I love it.
And we're preparing, and we're definitely going to be in shape.
I love it. I love it.
I don't care what you say. We're going to be ready for the visit. Because that is the nature. We love to put on a show.
Yeah.
We are very good at putting on a show, and that show is coming.
Well,
and I think we're doing the right thing by getting ready. You can't invite people to your place and you don't have the place fixed up.
Yeah.
You have to have you have to have all the roads fixed and.
I want you to explain something to me though.
Just a minute. You've reached. Speak your mind. Go right ahead, please. Good night.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
It's a shame to say, Bill, we don't have no... Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes. We don't have no water from since Thursday.
From last Thursday?
From Thursday gone.
Okay.
Thursday morning.
Imagine the whole Easter without water.
Be gone.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
Because Bellevue is right under Sabbath Hill.
Okay.
All right. Well, you agree with me that we're going to have. Oh, the person is gone. I was was gonna run my own little survey to see if she agreed with me. I'll be having a visit, but yeah, another text that came in. We should take a page out of Sinkis Nevis politics. 4 parties make up the government. The person that texted that, I hope you were following close because I was, and the people that got together for the Unity party that unseat the incumbent government, they did everything out in the open. They signed the document out in the open. They agreed who was going to be premier and who was going to be all the other positions out in the open. So they had the people behind them all the way. And if you talk about open government, that definitely, in my opinion, is a way of, getting the people to support you. If you do all your actions out in the open. Good evening, you're free speaking mind. Go ahead, please.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, I'm calling from. Yes, I'm calling from Nottingham Estate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this way we talk about she haven't got water for 4 days.
Yes.
We haven't got water for over 2 months
Wow.
in Nottingham Estate,
That
and
is.
we keep calling them. They keep telling us they're coming, and up to now these people ain't coming. Every time we call them, they find some kind of excuse.
Okay.
So up to now, this morning we have to turn and buy water because we don't have any water of Nottingham Estate.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I'm hoping that the persons that can make a difference in your life are listening to the show just like you, and I'm hoping that they're taking notes and going to correct that situation because that is not acceptable.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Nottingham Estate will be the 7th district, right?
That's the 7th district, and that's a short throw from Babi.
Yeah, it really is. Straight up the hill.
Straight up the hill.
Straight over the hill.
Yep.
Wow.
We have a few texts that came in. It says, if you fix up the place only when these people come, how would they know? How would they know we need help here? We've been doing it all these years. Well, they had no right to fool the people about insurance, and they rightfully know that they was doing. I tired of promises. That's what elections are sometimes about, promises. You're going to refuse the people in the 3rd district water just because you want the representative out. That's what somebody texts Sam. They're saying that the districts that are not getting water are the districts that are not with the government. That's a comment I've heard time and time again. I've heard it with the police station. I've heard it with the fire station. As a matter of fact, I was reading online the other day that the chief fire officer was saying that he's having some challenges with the equipment, and I would go on record to say we can't play with fire. Fire is something that's that's very real, and fighting fire needs special equipment. I keep talking about the 6-story buildings we have, and we do not have a ladder company. Meaning that we don't have a truck that carries a ladder that could go higher than 1 or 2 stories. And we need to address that issue one way or another. And the sooner, the better. Because as a risk manager, you look at risk and you quantify it, and then you try to find ways around eventually having to make that expenditure. So risk management is an important thing, and mitigating against risk. You have a plan of action against the possible risk that you can encounter. That is a real situation, and that is something that persons in finance and in management and CEO and etc. This is a normal conversation to try to avoid unnecessary expenditure, right? And I think support for the police, the fire, and all the essential services is should come without you shouldn't have to think about it.
Should be no debate.
It shouldn't be a debate. It shouldn't even be a dialogue, in my opinion. It should be It should be a real effort on behalf of the entire community. And I would like to ask the entire community to join with us and demand that we get at least this level. You know, we need to stand together when it comes to some of the issues. We need to have a lot more unity going forward. You know, to get things done, and definitely dealing with the situation that we have right now with the dilapidated equipment, lack of equipment, inappropriate equipment, and move forward. You know,
Yeah.
improve.
But you know, it leads me to a question.
Yeah.
If some of these areas don't even have water, what does that say about the fire
Yes.
department?
Yeah.
You know, potentially having a fire in some of these areas and trying to get it out. I mean, that to me is just, you know, but you got to value the source. You got to look at who's running the system and whether or not they care.
Well,
Whether or not they care enough
you-
to do something about the problems.
You're onto something, Sam, because one of the things I thought on coming to the show tonight to talk about was to encourage our citizens to make an assessment of your district and you know, walk the district, you know, talk about what's in your district. You know, some districts have hospitals, some have clinics, some have basketball court. I mean, the list goes on, and some have street lights, some don't have street lights. Make a list of what's in your district, all the people in the districts, and lobby for your district to be the best district. And you must know what's in your district. And that's my campaign. Let's find out what's in all the districts
Yeah.
and what could be improved in the districts. And I think that's a good start. We have one last text before we go break. Let's see what it says. People, open your eyes. 4 years, but the country will get fixed in 4 months. That's action. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a break for the sponsors and make the show possible. We're going to be right back with you.
Hi, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We got about 10 or 12 minutes left, so hit me up, Courtney.
Yeah, we got some text that came in here. Sam said, you know what is sad with the government that we keep putting in every 4 years? At the end of their 4 years, we are still where we began. Nothing has changed.
So
They should be able to sit back and say, mission accomplished. We have served our country and people well. However, this is not so. Here we are, nearly 4 years later at the crossroads, angry at a government that really and truly did nothing.
So what that call is, what that person saying, they're not better off this 4 years than they were 4 years ago?
Basically. Good night, cable TV from the past month. You wasn't getting no good cable. They will give you discount, and up to now you still have to pay the full price, and again you can't see NBA. When you like a Sport Max lineup, you see NBA, so you get Sport Max, you have to pay extra money by the month. I feel your pain. I'm a sports person myself. We're not giving a good deal. I agree with you. We're not giving a good deal with the cable service. And we hear about people coming with bundles. Bruce Bay have nothing. That's a text that just came in, just so that you guys won't think I'm reading these things myself. Bruce Bay have nothing. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I agree with the text that came in about the cable system. We people who follow sports, we would like to see some real-time sports. big things happening all the time. Final Four, NBA, you name it, and we're being promised a lot of things. We're hearing about a bundle coming, bundle where you might have your phone, your internet, your television, and all those things in one bill. Sounds good to me. I also listen to some online news sometime, and I understand from HBO that they're looking now at streaming on the net. So if HBO is going to be streaming on the net, it means that on my smartphone I'll be able to watch HBO. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out. Keep looking at the technology. The technology is changing all the time. We are going to go with the technology. We're not going to go with the high prices and the low service. We're going to go with the technology. And if the technology meets us halfway, we're going to meet them the rest of the way. Sam, I think people are beginning to realize that a lot of the young people in the territory, they're going after the technology. They're using the technology. And you have to meet their needs.
That's right.
You know, their needs are different, and we have to meet the needs. We can't.
Consumer demand is there, you know.
Consumer demand is there. We have another text that came in, Sam. Bywater is producing so much water, and they don't have enough place to store it. So why is these people not getting water? That's a good text. But as you would realize, Bywater is not responsible for the distribution of water. Bywater place of sale is after they have delivered the water. That's their point of sale. If you're talking finance, or if you're talking business plan. The Water and Sewage Department is responsible for the distribution network and the billing, the selling and receiving of money. So I myself didn't just start talking about water. I went and I did some research myself, and I would not like to see our situation here get to be like a situation like in South Africa, where South Africans had to cut off the meters and take them and pile them up at the water company to get some resolution to the situation after it got out of hand. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in South Africa, it got to the point where just like your cell phone, you were given a card and you had your water on your card, and when your card run out, your water run out. Let us not get to that, ladies and gentlemen. Let us be proactive. Let us, understand what's happening and deal with the situation. Regardless of what people are saying, find out for yourself what the situation is so that you can deal with it in a sensible way. Sam, we're getting a lot of texts and a lot of calls. It means that people are listening to the show. It means that the sponsors that are making this show possible are getting a good shake for the investment.
Yeah, man. The people that watch the show, the people that want to respond without fear of victimization. Yeah. But we know that's a difficult thing in this this political arena. Yeah. They see it happening within government. They see it happening to each other. So.
I have a text that just come in. It said, Courtney, I must say the electricity bill have gone down a bit. I don't know for how long, but we are thankful. As people who are paying the highest electricity bill in the world, that's some consolation, but not much. Another text, Tortola people is too ungrateful. NDP is doing a heck of a job, and that's the end of that. There you have it. Sam, I told you before, different people have different points of views. We're going to accept all the point of views that people have. As long as you tell us your point of view, we're going to accept your point of view.
Courtney, I watched a news thing yesterday on CNN, and they had 2 people on there, 3 people, but 2 of the people who are talking back and forth at each other. One guy said, had the guy stayed in the car, he wouldn't have gotten shot. Then this guy said, had the police kept his gun in his holster, the man would have been still alive.
And both of them are correct. Then a person just texted and said, I am staying with NDP all the way.
All the way.
I want to just remind that person that sent that text, right, that where we at right now, you're going to have a lot of opportunity to jump on any side you want to jump on, because if we're going to have an election soon, there's going to be a lot of ads and a lot of opportunity for ads. So you sound like somebody who could put an ad out there right now. I could feel it. I got the pulse right now on it. So don't have any fear. Another text that came in, it says, 7 days now, we don't have water in Far Hill.
So
Boy,
it's Far Hill,
that's
Sabbath Hill.
that's the nail right there. That's the end of it
Eastern.
right there. It seems like something is drastically going wrong. I have to say that, you know, we have to look and ask the question. Sam, we might have to make a one or two personal calls ourselves to try to get to the bottom of this, though. This show is one of the best talk shows. We have Courtney. You and Sam are doing an excellent job. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. We like when you pat us on the back. It makes us feel a little better from time to time, Sam. But we're here for the people of these Virgin Islands, and if any way we can help, we're gonna try and help, especially when it comes to dissemination of information and to put clarity to some of the things that are happening in our community, to have a dialogue with the people of this community. Next text, can we imagine Fraser Premier of this BVI? It's the person said never. Again, that's another person that sounds to me that they would be really good in an ad. You take out an ad and you support your candidate of your choice. I'm pretty sure they will love you for it. Someone texting, Sam, I love your two different opinions. You see, I tell you, somebody would agree with me. That's two different opinions, and I think that they both have a valid point. You know. Another text that came in, Sam. Sam, I'm not hearing you saying anything about what the director of ports is doing to some of the taxi men over by the cruise ship dock. That's personal, Sam. And then someone texts in again and said, can you class Raja with Myra? Again, another person who is going to be definitely making a political ad. I could see that I could see that coming. Definitely. Sam, the political ads are going to be real. If you really,
they're gonna be good.
it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I could see it. I could see where people are going to put the money where the mouth is, and I think some money is going to spend, Sam.
I don't care what ad they put out though. That the National Democratic Party government put out before was eat them out and vote them out.
Yeah. Good evening. You've reached Speak Your Mind. Go right ahead, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good
I
evening.
think it would be a good thing. Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Go right ahead.
I think it would be a good thing if somebody responsible would come on your show or make a call and explain all of these allegations about lack of water.
It would make common sense to me. It's good
Thank you.
consumer protection as well. That's a caller that makes a serious point, Sam, that says that someone in authority should, come on the show or call the show or even take out an ad. I mean, JTV, we sell ads here. That's one of the ways that we make money.
I think that caller it was serious but still joking around. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Another text came in. Yeah, I can see him as Premier Mr. Fraser. You see, I tell you, it's going to be like that. Some money is going to spend. I don't mind what you say, Sam. Some good money is going to spend. Position yourself. For sure, I'm voting Fraser. I told you, some good money is going to spend. Ladies and gentlemen, the texts are coming in. They're coming in fast. We don't have that much more time to go, but we're going to take a good whack at wrapping up the show. So, Sam,
Yeah, Courtney,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to be real brief and real
and
quick.
say what's up.
I'm going to say two things. Just, ladies and gentlemen, if you own your own property and you have access to your cistern or a storage facility, trust me, it's worth it. Put the water in your cistern. Fill it up. Continue to use government water until the water goes off. And once the water goes off, you always have access to water. Trust me, it works. The same water you're using for drinking, the same water you're using for washing your clothes, for cooking your food, it's the same water. It goes in your cistern. If you got a problem with your cistern, they got little things you could put in your cistern to keep the water clean, away from all, some of this disease or whatever it is. Whatever you face, there's a remedy for it. All right. Number two, if you don't stand up and advocate for anything, you're gonna get whatever they put on the table. Advocate. As simple as that. If you don't advocate, just take whatever they give you. You go ahead. I'm good.
All right. Well, Sam, as you know, we had a number of texts and a number of calls, and we were able to touch issues from Josh Van Dyke to, we didn't hear much about the situation in Anegada, and I think we touched on some of the topical issues in our territory. And all in all, we had a wonderful show. And at this time, I'd say God bless these Virgin Islands and the people that live in them, and we'll see you again next week.